Do 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 do. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy 2019. I am Jeremy Brunansky, and this is a special edition, right? This is the first live episode of 2019. And we're just going to just jump right in real quick. We're not really into the mix of things yet for the full episodes like you guys are used to. The intros and all of the different topics we discuss here, like what's hitting theaters, what's arriving on DVD and Blu-ray. We will take a look at the weekend box office. And then we've also got a movie review that just posted. We got some articles we're going to talk about as well. So there's still a lot we can look at in this special edition. But before we officially say, right, we're into season 5 or we're continuing season 4, I haven't yet decided. But until we actually figure that out and get that going, we're just going to throw a special edition up today just to kind of touch base with everybody. Make sure that you guys had a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year, right? Because the last episode of 2018 happened before the holidays. And then no live shows during the holidays, just movie reviews we're posting. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and click subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications when new content drops. Also, if at any point during the show you enjoy any portion of the show, go ahead and give me that thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. Also, if you are considering, since it's a brand new year, right? New year, new me. That's the thing, right? So if you are in that new year, new me thing, go ahead, and part of that new year, new me thing is wanting to start your own online video content like YouTube, Twitch, IGTV, Facebook Live, YouTube. Go ahead and look down below in the description box. There's going to be just a couple items that we're using just to do this special edition to get you started. Pretty affordable stuff, very reasonable. So go ahead and take a look at those. If you are, again, into that new year, new me kind of deal, and online video creation is part of your whole New Year's resolution, go ahead and take a look down there. Also, during the show, we're going to talk a couple articles. All the articles are also in the description box. So again, very important. Just hit the little arrow. Everything will drop down. You can hop right in there and click on the links and follow along with us. We're only going to be taking a look at 2 things today. First is box office report for the weekend. Second is going to be the Golden Globe winners. Now, before we jump into all of that, since we had the time off, let's go back in time, right? Hop in the time travel machine and go all the way back to 2018. That's where we are right now. The last episode we did, the last live episode we did, it was before Christmas, right, and New Year. So we had that whole time where we weren't doing live videos, but the movie reviews were still going up. So make sure, if you haven't caught up yet, you go back to the movie review playlist and you check out the movie reviews that have posted. I got Mary Poppins went up there. Bumblebee is up there. So there's new reviews up, right? I just saw The Favorite yesterday. So stay tuned for that. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, because when The Favorite drops, you'll be getting the notifications. You can check out that review. Just real quick though, The Favorite was very different than I was expecting, but it was also kind of right in line with what I was expecting. So I was expecting this kind of dry, sarcastic, sardonic humor. And that was there, but then the story itself, very different than what the trailers were kind of hinting at as far as like character development and everything like that. So the movie, I walked out of the theater and then it just ends. And I was like, that's the end of the movie? That's it? Like all of a sudden there's a title screen and I was just like, whoa, that's different. So yeah, it was different. Stay tuned for my full review. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it still delivered what I was expecting, if that makes sense. Stay tuned for the full review when all of my thoughts are kind of formulated and laid out. And also make sure you're following us on Twitter, because I always give my updates after I see the movie. I'll give you just a quick tweet review so you can kind of get my thoughts in advance as far as what I think of the movies I see before I review them and throw them up on the channel. So Twitter is at Brunansky's Vlog. And then also you're going to want to follow us on WordPress as well, at Brunansky's blog. So B as in boy. So make sure you're following us there, because I just wrote 2 articles. Both of those articles actually are going to be in the description box. So if you click down below, you're going to see that I have written reviews for 2018. So all the films that I saw in theaters and then reviewed on this YouTube channel. I wrote up a quick think piece about what I thought as far as what films did not meet expectations, which films exceeded expectations, which films were exactly what I liked and what I was looking forward to, and which films really surprised me. Small budget, big screen winners, right? The films that I saw that had a production cost of less than $5 million, but still put a big smile on my face. I talk about those. So there's two articles down there. One is for 2018 year in review, and the other one is 2019, looking forward into this year. What do we have to be excited about? What's getting ready to hit theaters? Now, in the article, I put a caveat in there, right? Because some of the films that are coming out this year don't have trailers yet. They don't. So maybe the trailer drops and I'm like, whoa, never mind. This looks like hot garbage in July. Let's just forget about this one. But right now, since there are no trailers and just kind of what we know about what the film kind of synopsis is saying the film's going to be about, plus who's involved with it, actors, everything like that, it's got me interested, right? So there's a couple articles up right now on the WordPress blog. And again, that's Brunansky's blog, but just check the description box down below and you'll be able to keep up with all of the articles and think pieces and stuff like that. Because over the break, I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing, right? I reformatted the whole WordPress because I've been writing on WordPress for 6 years. So I reformatted that. So take a look at it again. All of the written reviews before I went live on YouTube, I was writing movie reviews. So all of those written reviews are up there. There's a whole segment on the homepage. You can just click film reviews written, boom. And it'll take you right there and you can go back a couple years and read some of my thoughts as far as films that came out a couple years ago as well. All right, so let's just go ahead now that we've kind of got everything out of the way and just jump into the first story, and that's just the weekend box office, right? We're going to take a look at what were you guys seeing over the holiday week, right? Because New Year's, everybody kind of has some time off typically, right? If you plan ahead, you kind of take those vacation days so you can get the full week instead of having to spend 5 vacation days, right? You have the holidays and then you can add on to that. So if you're one of those people that took advantage of that opportunity, job well done. And hopefully you guys were able to get out to see some films. And it looks like for the most part, you guys were, because we got some films here that did pretty well overall on the weekend. So let's just take a look at those real quick on the channel. If you're new to the channel, we always take a look at the top 5 and then just really quick, just take a look at the top 10. So coming in at number 5, we've got Bumblebee at $12,775,000. Number 4, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse at $13,010,000. Number 3 is Mary Poppins Returns at $15,773,000. Number 2 is The Escape Room at $18 million. And then Aquaman in the number 1 spot in its 3rd week at $30,700,000. So overall, pretty good weekend, right? You got all these films here in the top 5, all made over $10 million. It's after the holidays. Everybody's kind of cashed out, right? All of the money goes towards Christmas and then trying to get New Year's celebrations and everything else. So everyone's kind of on that financial holiday hangover. So it looks like everybody went to the box office and said, let's just relax and have a good time and see some movies. And boy, oh boy, there's a lot of good films out right now. So let's just take a look at these 5 real quick. Bumblebee. My thoughts are up on the channel right now for it. I really enjoyed Bumblebee a lot. I did not know I was going to enjoy this film as much as I did. I went in with expectations that were kind of like in the middle of the excitement bar, right? I didn't walk in thinking that this film is just going to be hot garbage and I'm just there to see how bad it can be, right? Some films just look like they're going to be so terrible. You have to see them in theaters just to have that experience to talk about later. Just be like, yeah, I remember seeing that. It was awful, right? So, but that wasn't the case. I didn't walk in with that attitude. I also didn't walk in with the attitude of like, this film is going to be the greatest thing since, you know, Citizen Kane or anything like that, right? There was none of the Jurassic Park. Like, I didn't walk in thinking like it was just going to blow the roof off the theater. I walked in and I was just like, I think this is going to be good. I think this is going to be good. That's where my expectation was. I think this is going to be good. And I was wrong. It was better than good. And I think it might be the best Transformers film to date. I mean, going all the way back to the first Transformers movies back in 2007, coming all the way forward now into 2019, I think this might be the best one. And with everything that happened in the the Transformers, if you like them, God bless you. That's fantastic. I'm glad you found a franchise that you enjoy and you want to support. I do not like the Transformers films. I like the first one. And then it just goes off the rails after that. And I was like, how do these movies keep making so much money? And that was one of the confusing things. It's similar to Venom, right? Venom made an insane amount of money. And I'm just sitting back and I'm going, how did this happen? The same way I look at Transformers films and go, how does this happen? How do these movies keep making bucket loads of cash? It just makes no sense to me. And the same thing happened with Venom. I don't get it. But this film, if it makes bucket loads of cash, which I'm assuming it will, because I think this film is going to have legs, it wouldn't surprise me at all, because I think this film did a great job of resetting the franchise. Now, if they want to keep making Transformers films, go forward from Bumblebee, right? Don't go backwards and dive into the old stories from the earlier Transformers films, 2007 up to Bumblebee. Just start over at Bumblebee. Bumblebee was a really good origin story. Towards the end of the film, it starts to feel a little bit rushed and a little bit paint by numbers. It felt like they kind of went, we got to wrap this up. Let's connect all of the plot points and make sure everything makes sense. So it kind of happens pretty quick, but that doesn't take away from any of the fun I had in this movie. I thought the movie was really good. So I would go forward, right? If someone were to be like, Jeremy, if they were to call me and be like, Jeremy, we have this idea for another Transformers film, my first statement would be, before they even said anything, is, are you starting from where Bumblebee left off? If the answer to that is yes, I'm interested. Let's hear the pitch. What are we doing? If the answer is no, now I'm confused, right? Because I thought Bumblebee did a great job of finishing things up, like as far as that story goes, opening up a brand new world of possibility and really allowing us to go forward in this brand new world in the 80s, right? So Bumblebee, really liked it. Check out my full review for exactly what is happening in this film that I enjoyed. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse blew my socks off. That was one of the films that got all the high fives last year. I went in with pretty high expectations. Excuse me. I went in with pretty high expectations for this film because everything in it looked good. I liked the trailers for it. I loved the animation style. It looked like something I'd never seen before. And the story looked good, right? All of the different characters coming into the world, all the different Spider-Man characters coming into the world to try and help the new Spider-Man figure out how to be Spider-Man. And he still has to save the day because it's his movie. They knocked it out of the park. I thought they did a great job with this film, connecting all of the dots, making sure everybody has enough screen time, but not so much screen time that it's kind of unbalanced or uneven. Just incredibly well done film. Really enjoyed it. If you haven't, you should definitely check out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The humor in it's really good. The story in it is really good. There's heart. And the animation, again, incredible. Absolutely incredible animation. Really dug it. I recommend people see it in the biggest screen possible. So if it's in an area in IMAX, if it's in your area in IMAX, worth it. Absolutely. All right. Mary Poppins Returns. Not surprised that's still in the top 5. Not really surprised any of these films are in the top 5. Let's just start there. Mary Poppins Returns, though, I had a lot of fun in this film. I walked out of the theater humming. I was like, that was pretty good. I liked some of the new songs. I liked Emily Blunt, how she portrayed Mary Poppins. I thought she nailed the spirit and the essence of Mary Poppins, right? She's putting her own spin on it. She's making it her own character. I get it, but I still thought she stayed true to who Mary Poppins is with all of those little looks and comments and glances that she gives throughout the film. I was like, she nailed the spirit of Mary Poppins. Couldn't have been happier with her performance. Dug some of the new songs, the animation sequence that they did where they jump into the bowl. Loved it. I ate that whole moment in the film up. It looked like classic Disney animation, the old hand-drawn stuff that I grew up watching, right? Excuse me again. I loved that whole animation sequence. The songs in it, again, they're pretty good. I liked how everything kind of aged, but Mary didn't. Again, just building on the fact that she's this magical nanny, right? So there's a lot in Mary Poppins Returns I enjoyed. And I don't really recall any like major, like where I walked out of the theater and I was like, no, shouldn't have done that. I liked it. I thought everything in the film was pretty good. And I believe that got all the high fives as well. So check out my full review for Mary Poppins Returns. Number 2, Escape Room. Interesting choice to release kind of a young adult horror movie in January, right? We see these films come out in January and we think, this is probably not going to be that great. But Escape Room pulling in $18 million to take the number 2 spot in its opening weekend. Maybe it was a good idea to release it in January, right? Not a lot of competition. It's definitely standing alone as far as other films around it, right? Because this is like a young adult horror film, right? A thriller, if you will. But around it is Disney, Spider-Man, Bumblebee, and DC, right? Aquaman. So it's pretty good, like in its own category. If you want to see a thriller, if you want to kind of go and get some scares out of everything, and this film can deliver, it looks like it's delivering, and it really has no competition as far as its genre is concerned. I think there's some really good marketing that happened here. Let's just take a look real quick at Rotten Tomatoes. The tomato meter is giving it a 54% rotten, but the audience scored it at a 61% fresh, and they gave it a B on CinemaScore. So what does that tell me? That tells me that the critics were watching a movie very different than what the audience was watching. Because if the critics are saying 54% rotten, I think they're looking at it in a very different perspective than what fans are going in to see this type of film for, right? So when you have a young adult horror movie, we kind of have to set your expectations appropriately, right? We talk about this all the time on the channel. Make sure your expectations are correct, because you don't want to walk into a movie thinking it's going to be this type of thing, but it ends up being like this type of thing, right? You don't want to walk in thinking you're going to see a giant circle, but then you get a square. So with this film, I feel like that's what happened with the critics. They walked in thinking they were going to see one film, and then they got something different. Whereas the audience, people like you and me, I haven't seen it yet, but people like you and me walked in going, this is probably what we're going to get. Oh, that's exactly what we got. And so they gave it a 61% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and then they gave it a B on CinemaScore, and a B is pretty good. So not surprised to see Escape Room coming in the number 2 spot, $18 million. I think Sony is really happy with that. It had a budget of $9 million. So it's already made its money back, and now it's going to be making a profit, right? Because you want to double whatever the production cost is, you want to double that. And they've already doubled it in the opening weekend, right? According to Box Office Mojo. So Sony's got to be sitting pretty with this one. Now that it's made its money back and it's officially starting to make money, it's safe to say that as this movie continues to make more money, we might see a sequel, Escape Room 2, Try and Escape Us Now, or something like that, right? Whatever the case may be, it looks like we're going to probably be getting a sequel out of Escape Room, and why not? If everybody likes it and it's making money, why wouldn't we want to see more of it? Now, coming in at number 1, we have Aquaman. Really liked Aquaman a lot. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this film, just like Bumblebee. I walked in with an expectation of, I think this is going to be really fun. And then I walked out and I was like, that was actually really fun and more. The story was really good. I liked some of the characters. I did have some issues with the film as far as the acting goes and the dialogue, because I thought it was very inconsistent. Sometimes it was like this like total like straight up dude action flick where like the dialogue is like super cheese, super direct and to the point, like mama, ha da 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 da. And then like other times there's like real emotion and everything like that. And you're just like, oh, there's like acting. And then there's like just dude in your face action movies. And it was like this weird kind of split that was happening in the film. So that was weird. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was really good. I would definitely put it up there above Justice League. I'd put it up there above Batman versus Superman. I'd put it up there over Suicide Squad too. Suicide Squad as well, not Suicide Squad 2. Suicide Squad as well. I don't know that I would put it above Man of Steel, and I definitely wouldn't put it above Wonder Woman. So right now I'm kind of torn as far as the DC extended universe goes. Is this number 2 or is this number 3? I'm still kind of marinating on that, but definitely number 1 is Wonder Woman. And then number 2 and number 3 are bouncing back and forth between Man of Steel and Aquaman. I don't know. I might give the slight edge to Aquaman because I feel like there was so much more that had to happen in that film versus Man of Steel. Man of Steel, I walked in, I was going, this is going to be good. Really, all they can do is disappoint me. Like they can't, I already like, that's kind of like where I was at mentally, right? I was like, this is going to be a good movie. I'm going to enjoy it. They've already got my ticket. They've already got my vote. So if anything goes wrong, it's because they wanted it to go wrong. That was kind of where my head was at. Otherwise, they've already got my support for this film. I like Henry Cavill. I like the trailers leading up to it, right? I like the concept of a brand new Superman fighting people from his planet that he didn't even know were still alive. There's a lot going on in this film that I was already had made up my mind. I'm going to enjoy this. So the only way I couldn't is if they really, really botched it, which would almost feel deliberate, right? So right now I'm going to give the slight edge to Aquaman. So we'll say Aquaman comes in at number 2, Wonder Woman at number 1. So just real quick, and you can check out my reviews for Mary Poppins Returns, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Bumblebee, and Aquaman on the movie review playlist on this channel. So definitely do that. But just real quick, let's take a look at the top 10 because we have Holmes and Watson coming in at number 10, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2 at number 9, Second Act at number 8, Vice at number 7, and The Mule at number 6. Real quick, Holmes and Watson, I was going to go see that. I was pretty excited about it. And then some early buzz online was like, this movie is garbage. I was like, how bad can it be, really? So I pulled up Rotten Tomato, and it has an 8% rotten and an audience score of 28% rotten. So 8% rotten by the critics, 28% rotten by the fans. And then the cinema score, not good, guys. It got a D+, a D+. That is bad news bears across the board. How this film made it into the top 10 with unfavorability as high as it was baffles me, because it made $3,400,000 on a production budget of about $42 million. This is not good times. This is not good times for Holmes and Watson. Not sure what happened with this film. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but like early buzz was major stink fest, hot garbage city, population Holmes and Watson. Like, I just don't get it. I was like, wow, you've got these two guys coming back. Everyone's excited to see them on the big screen. Just like Man of Steel, right? All you have to do is deliver a good movie and everyone's going to be sold on it. So to not be able to deliver that, I don't know. That's just weird to me. So Holmes and Watson coming in at number 10 with a D+ cinema score and just rotten by both critics and audiences. Bad news bears for sure. But Ralph Breaks the Internet, you can check out my review for that. You can check out my review for the Mule. Those are both up on the channel as well. Looking forward to Vice and the second act. I don't know if I'm going to see that one. I might. My mom has been trying to talk me into seeing that one with her. So I might see second act. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Vice for sure. So there is your top 5, top 10. So real quick, let's just rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. We've got number 10, Holmes and Watson. 9, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. Number 8, Second Act. Number 7, Vice. 6, The Mule. 5, Bumblebee. 4, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 3, Mary Poppins Returns. Number 2, Escape Room. And number 1 is Aquaman. So just real quick, Aquaman has made $940 million so far worldwide. Batman versus Superman did not make that. Wonder Woman didn't make it. Man of Steel didn't make it. Suicide Squad didn't make it. And Justice League did not make it. So congratulations to Aquaman being the closest to $1 billion so far in the DCEU. Second to Aquaman is Batman v Superman at $873 million. Then Wonder Woman at $821 million. Then Suicide Squad at $746 million. Then Man of Steel at $668 million, and then Justice League at $657. So Justice League actually all the way at the bottom of the films so far in the DCEU, but we'll have to pay attention and kind of keep our eyes open because we still have Shazam, we still have Wonder Woman 2, we have Wonder Woman 1984, and we still have the Joker film, right? So we still have 3 films in the DC universe getting ready to hit theaters. Plus there's everything happening with Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad 2, assuming that those actually get up and running. But for sure, we can say Shazam, Wonder Woman 1984, and the Joker. So we still have 3 films to look forward to in the DCEU. Will Aquaman be the first one to hit that $1 billion mark? Looks like it. It looks like that could be the strongest contender right now. And then we'll have to wait and see what Shazam and Wonder Woman and the Joker do. I would say Wonder Woman 1984 would probably hit $1 billion. If it's as good as the first one or better, I don't see why it wouldn't. And Shazam could surprise us. Shazam, if it really delivers, it could be one of those films that just skyrockets to the top, really helping the DC universe out as far as dollars go, right? Dollars go. But otherwise, you know, Aquaman is killing it. So great job, Aquaman. All right, let's go ahead and take a look now at the Golden Globes. Now, if you're a faithful watcher of the show, you know, I'm not overly a fan of the Golden Globes. Like, it's not something I tune in for or set anything on my calendar for. Because it's just it's about 90 or so voters, right? It's the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. If you go all the way back in the time, if you go in the time machine and go all the way back into 2018, you can watch the episode where I give you a breakdown of what the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is like. Because I give you the whole history of it and kind of how we got to where we are with the Golden Globes. So go back and check that out. It's waiting for you back in 2018. But just real quick, before we sign off, let's take a look at the winners and nominees of 2019, just for a couple categories. It's going to be Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, Drama, Actress, and Actor. So those are the 4 categories we're going to take a look at just right there on the front page. Article, or the link for the article down below. Best Motion Picture Drama, we have Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Klansman, If Beale Street Could Talk, A Star is Born, and Black Panther. Out of those 5 films, Bohemian Rhapsody took home the Golden Globe. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, we have Green Book, Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. Out of these 5 films, Green Book took home the win. So Bohemian Rhapsody and Green Book were the winners last night. For drama, I'm not really sure. The Golden Globes is kind of weird, right? Because you always have that the musical or comedies are not necessarily musical or comedies. It just sometimes feel like they throw the other films in that didn't make drama into that category, as we've talked about before on this show. So looking at these 10 films, I am surprised that Bohemian Rhapsody did take home the Golden Globe. Because for me, Bohemian Rhapsody was, if you go to the WordPress blog, Brunansky's blog, and you look at last year's movies and review, you'll see that Bohemian Rhapsody was one of my most disappointing films of 2018 for last year, because I just didn't feel like they knew what story they wanted to tell. I felt like it was a bunch of different stories all squished into one film. Just didn't work for me. So I'm surprised to see that took home the award. But then again, I'm also surprised to see what films it's up against with Black Klansman, If Beale Street Could Talk, A Star Is Born, and Black Panther, versus what I think musical or comedy is actually a tougher category as far as Green Book, Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. I think there's a lot more competition in that one. So job well done to the Green Book. Still want to see that, and still want to see Vice. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama, we have Glenn Close for The Wife, Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Rosamund Pike for A Private War. And Glenn Close took this one for The Wife. I heard a lot of good things online about this film. Still want to see it. So congratulations to Glenn Close for that one. And then best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama, we have Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born, William Dafoe At Eternity's Gate, Lucas Hedges for Boy Erased, and John David Washington for Black Klansman. And Rami Malek brought it home for Bohemian Rhapsody, which that one doesn't surprise me, because I thought his performance was really good in the movie. Even though I had issues with the movie, I thought his performance definitely was a standout performance. I thought he did a great job as Freddie Mercury. So congratulations, Rami Malek, there on your Golden Globe win. Now we can all start paying attention to and waiting for more information on what is going on with the Academy. So we'll have to stay tuned for that one. But let's just go ahead and get ready to sign off here. Before I go, I did recently discover a new band that I've been listening to a lot more lately. And that is the Interrupters. The album is called Fight the Good Fight. Definitely recommending you guys check this one out. It's ska punk. It's a newer group. It just kind of popped up on my random shuffle playlist of streaming. And I was like, oh, this song's pretty good. So then I looked up the album and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So there you go. There's your new music for 2019. Check it out. The Interrupters, Fight the Good Fight. If you like ska punk, it's a pretty good album. Definitely recommending it. All right, everybody. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. This is Brunansky's vlog. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and end this special edition. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you guys in the next episode. I'm not sure if it's going to be next Monday or not. Still trying to put pieces together for what the new season is going to look like. But if we can't, hopefully we'll be able to do a special edition. We'll have to wait and see. But stay tuned on Twitter, because that's where I do all the updates. Brunansky's vlog at Brunansky's vlog on Twitter. So pay attention to that. That's waiting for you. Check it out. All right, everybody. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. This is Brunansky's vlog special edition. Hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. Hope you had a Happy New Year. And we will see you guys next time right here on YouTube. But until then, and as always, good night and good luck.